face the IELTS. No, it's just a myth. Please take out my mistakes, the grammar mistakes. It is useful. Some forced vocabulary that you use, it will take out that. So the coherence, it will break. Simple and accurate vocabulary is very, very important. Even for your punctuation, there is a score.
Now moving to listening module. What type of accents and audio sources are generally used in IELTS listening recording?
See, in the audio, they are using British, American, Canadian, and even Australian. So you have to train your ears. And how do you do that? See, if you're going for your work or somewhere, you can leisurely listen to these listening tapes or audios and train your ear. Of course, it will not be active learning and you are writing something. No, but just it's a training to your, it's a passive listening, and you can just, get accustomed to the accents.
Okay.
So that is one way.
Does the difficulty level increase from section 1 to section 4?
Again, that is a myth. It's not like that. Of course, they warm you up. It is being designed by Cambridge, and they are experts. So in part 1, they will give you easier. They're warming you up.
Yes.
Right? And then when you come to the second, average student will be able to do it. But the third one is a difficult one. A fourth one, an average can do with lot of practice.
Okay.
So the third one could pose a problem for many students, and it does. But if you want a 7 and above, please be careful with the distractors, with the MCQs, with your map, with your matching. And that you will get in the part 3, and that is, I say, the most tough part. Yeah.
And how can candidate improve their understanding of IELTS audio?
So if you want to improve the listening, every word you should be able to understand. And 90%, Rishpal, they do not know that there are tape scripts at the end of the Cambridge books. So you can just find out what sort of mistake you are doing from those audio. Like how to improve, you have asked me. It could be a spelling mistake. It could be the fact that you did not understand a vocabulary, like an idiom could be used, a phrasal verb, something. It could also be accent, that you didn't understand that. Then it could be another thing is that you just lost focus, and that is there. Most of them, they lose focus, and then they skip. Another thing that happens is they keep on thinking, oh, that answer, and by that time they miss 4.
Yes.
And then that is a disaster. So you need to identify where you're going wrong. 90% of them will say, oh ma'am, I have done 10 listening mock tests. And they are repeating the same mistakes because they are not analyzing.
Correct.
So you're not going to, reach anywhere like this. Please and identify your weaknesses and work for them. Suppose you are, distracted.
Correct.
Then every time you get distracted, put that 1. Then every time 1. And then see how many times you were distracted. And then if you are, don't understand the distractors, they will say, but actually, oh, I forgot to mention, I will be available at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Though they said 10 a.m. in the morning, and then they're going to change. And 99%, I'm saying 99%. The first of all options are there. They will say 10 a.m., 2 p.m., whatever they will say. All the options will be there. And as soon as they hear the first option, they are going to mark that 10 a.m.
Correct.
And IELTS is going to change. And this is called the delayed response. This is a distractor. Please wait for it. Don't be in a hurry. Be patient. So that was a tip I wanted to give to improve.
The student have to listen carefully. So they are totally paraphrase the audios in the answer.
You know, if one more thing with the audio using, if the same word, suppose you say this is smile, okay? And that smile word is in the audio also and on the passage also.
Correct.
And you will say, oh, this is the correct answer. And I'm telling you 100% it is wrong.
Wrong. Yes.
Because
correct.
you are not going to look for pronunciation, or you can say, but you are going to look for something like joyful, happiness, something like that. So if you are saying smile, smile and smile, it is going to be a disaster.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Now moving to last speaking module. Could you explain how IELTS speaking is actually scored?
Yeah. So for the speaking, the first most important parameter is fluency and coherence. So fluency, they will say, it's a myth. Everybody says, you'll speak fast, and she'll see, the examiner will think that, oh, she's very fluent.
Correct.
In fact, there are fluency markers. Like I'd say that from my perspective, personally, I feel that.
Correct.
If you ask me, these are, or if you have said something like, I, read books in my free time, that said, or having said that, and then you move to the contrast when, I'm really tired, I would like to listen to the music because it relaxes me and unwinds me or recharge my batteries, whatever you want to say. So that said, having said, these are all fluency markers. And with every word, just say, you say, I like to read books that are related to crime. So you are pausing after every word. The examiner comes to know that you're trying to find the word.
Okay.
Now pausing, even if I am, talking now, I am pausing to explain you the idea. So we know that this is for explaining the idea, or she is trying to know which word to put in. We come to know. So that is breaking the fluency.
Correct.
And it doesn't mean that you can't have fillers. But with every, like I'm also saying, but with every sentence, I'm not saying, If I, like that, I say that. So it's okay. But the pauses should not be long. With every sentence, you can't say the filler. There are other fillers which I have already told
Correct.
you. And then you should be coherent. Like some people say, the sky is blue and I am sick. I mean, it is not connected. Believe
Yes.
me,
Correct.
students do that.
Correct.
They are saying entirely different ideas and putting that and. So it is not coherent. The examiner loses. How do I understand?
Correct.
Right? So fluency and coherence is very important first. Then it comes to the lexical. So you can't repeat the words from the question and the answer which you are giving. Try to avoid that. And then, of course, you need to be expanding your answers. And then, of course, if you see the GRA,
Correct.
you have to use again, if not only but also, or you can use relative clauses, but do them accurately.
Correct.
That is very important. And the most important thing is the pronunciation. Now, you can have an increase or upgrade of 0.5 if your pronunciation is correct. Now, the intonation first, you should not speak in the IELTS exam like this. It's a monotone. It's a robot talking. Okay. So, you're trying to vomit what you have memorized. It is like that. Right?
Correct.
And then you should not speak. Again, there's a pause like that. Or you are saying, or you're fumbling. You should not speak like this. You're mumbling and fumbling. That is also not required. So what is required is the rise and the fall of the language. So like you should not be speaking like this in your IELTS test, or you get a low band. See, up and down. And 0.5 you go up. And then the word stress. Okay. So it is not photograph. It is photography. Or don't say photography, say photography. And then there are words like record and record. So if it is a noun, you say, I keep a record of the money I spend. And record, that means you're doing something like we are recording the podcast.
Correct.
So that is a verb. So if you say we are record the podcast, it is wrong. So you should know which syllable to stress. And sometimes people say I was very busy.
Correct.
I was very busy. You don't, then accent, they say if you have a good accent, you get high bands. And Rishpal, there is nothing mentioned in the bands.
It's a lot of myth in the market.
Yeah, you can't fake the accent. If I say, I'm agree to you.
Yes.
So it is grammatically wrong.
Yes.
So it is, I agree with you. So it's not I am agree with you or to you. I can't even speak it wrong, So like that. So if the grammar is wrong, where will your accent go? How can it fetch you?
Correct.
It cannot. So accent, intonation, word stress, all this is in the pronunciation. And that is for 9 bands. And you can easily get 8 if you're giving the intonation, the word stress and everything, and your band scores goes up.
But students are usually complex type of vocabulary in the speaking.
That is forced vocabulary. C1, C2, they will say, ma'am, but so there was a student who says, ma'am, but my trainer came after 4 attempts or 5 attempts. Ma'am, but my examiners, my trainer earlier said that this is a very good vocabulary. I said, it is a very good vocabulary. There is no denying the fact, but it is forced. And if you force something, वो memorized हो जाता है.
Correct.
अगर आप memorize बोलेंगे तो मैं आपको band कैसे दूंगी?
Correct.
ना ये मैंने idiom बोलना ही बोलना है. And then with every sentence they will say an idiom. It is not a test of idioms. If you're giving with every sentence idiom, you think you will get a higher score. No. Use naturally. Don't overuse also.
Correct.
So that is the...
So most important in the speaking module, how should a student react if examiner maintain serious facial expression?
That's a nice question, because these days, and see, I'm also an examiner, and we are trained like that, with due apologies to all examiners,
Correct.
that we should not be doing this, but this is now becoming prevalent, right? So actually, when we are trained, we are told that we have to keep a booklet here, we have to keep the recorder here, and this is how we have, if we want to write, we have to keep it here, or a pencil. Even we know we have to be very careful where we are keeping a pencil, so that we don't fiddle. We are not grabbing for things. And because if we are fiddling and we are just putting our things, and the candidate is giving his test, the candidate gets, distracted.
Yes.
And it is not respectful also. And also for the examiner, it is not a good thing. But then it does happen. And sometimes, I know, with apologies, the examiners are even laughing on the candidate. See, we are trained that we have to do this and this, so that we have to make the candidate comfortable.
Correct.
But if this is a position if it is a serious face or something, you think that the examiner was not in the video, if you're giving an online test, then please don't get distracted. You can continue to speak, and in the end, if you want to give a feedback, ask the operation people. They have a form, and you can fill in that form that this was the problem.
Correct.
And of course, IDB or British Council, they will adhere to it, they will listen to it, because this is a personal experience.
Yes.
Actually, what happened was the student, he got the same examiner the next time also. And he or she was behaving in the similar manner. So I said, definitely you should complain, and it is not like that. Action is taken against the examiner. So it is not like that, please. So because if you are, conveying what you want to say, and then you go for an EOR, suppose you go for an EOR, then you will be rated what is in the recording. Whatever is in the recording, you will be rated. But that time, suppose the examiner was not paying attention, he must have rated you low.
Correct.
So you will get your desired band, because it is the recording that matters.
Correct.
So please don't get distracted.
So what is the meaning of EOR?
That is a revaluation, inquiry on results. That is when you re-evaluate, it goes for re-evaluation. Suppose I have evaluated, it will not come to me again.
Okay.
It will go to Rashpal. And that will be evaluated. See, they don't decrease, but they will increase the band if it is there. Okay. If you have faced this problem that the examiner was not paying attention or something like that, so you can go for an EOR, that is inquiry on results. Yeah.
Got it. Do examiner decide the score immediately or later in speaking module?
Oh my God, this is again a myth, such a big myth. They said, ma'am, they literally come and say me, because I'm an examiner.
Yes.
So they will come and say, ma'am, she was writing 6. I think I will get a 6. Oh my God. The myth is that the YouTubers, what they have spread is, the part 1 is for, I don't know, whatever band score they say, and the part 2 is for whatever, and band 3 is for whatever. It is not like that. The whole of the exam is rated. And then how can you do it in the middle?
Correct.
It is not possible. And then, I don't know, they even, show that in some videos I have seen that the examiner themselves, they go out and bring the candidate in. You are not allowed to leave your materials for even 1 second. And action will be taken on the examiner. Right?
Correct.
So there is an usher, Now, usher is the person who will lead the candidate to the door, and then he will announce, Ma'am Harpreet Kaur. I will say, no, wait.
Correct.
I will rate the candidate. The sheet is there. I will rate, and then I'll put it beside me. So that is done. So I have 20 to in a day, generally 20, something like that. So depending upon this thing. So I have those to rate, and then he comes and said, okay, the next candidate. So between the two candidates, there is a time, maybe 1 minute or half a minute. We do it at that time. It is not rated in parts, please.
So they are collectively part 1, part 2, part 3.
Yeah. So they say, even they say like that, ma'am, my cue card went very well. My part 1 went very well. I should have got a 7. 7 if you want to get. Please do your part 3 properly. In part 3, how to do it? Give explanations. Give examples. Expand. If you do well in part 3, that is the time when the examiner is, dilly-dallying. Okay, I should give him 7, 8, 6. That is the part. Because, in the whole test, we can't speak other than what is written in the booklet.
Correct.
Right? It is only in the part 3 we can ask questions from your answers.
Correct.
And then how will you memorize?
Correct. Totally.
So part 3 becomes very important for a higher band. So if you are not able to do that, no ma'am, part 3 I could not do well, then please expect a 5 or a 6, not more than that. So it is like that.
Got it. So how can candidates naturally extend the answer?
See, that is what I've told you. When always keep that one word, why. So do you read books? Okay. Yes, absolutely. I'm a bookworm. You have answered the question. I'm not saying you have not answered the question. You have used that bookworm also. And you're expecting I should get a 7. But you don't have given a reason, because it helps to enhance my knowledge about the world. And the icing on the cake is it improves my vocabulary. So you've given a reason. You've given a reason. So you could also say, oh, that's a big no for me. I find it tedious, monotonous and boring. And you think, oh, examiner will say I'm dumb. No, I'm not concerned. I'm only concerned what language you use. And then I will say, I would rather go swimming because it not only keeps me fit, but also helps me to relax and unwind. So I'm not concerned if you say, what is your favorite food? And I say, sushi is my favorite food and I'll get a 7 band. Please. Ideas should be simple, which you can explain. This is the mantra for whether task 2, whether you're speaking, which you can explain. But vocabulary is important. Grammar is important. So even if you say, if you don't say sushi, it doesn't mean that you're going to get a lower band. Don't try to impress the examiner. So it's like that.
And most important in the speaking section, are students penalized for going slightly off the topic?
Now this, I think 99% do not know. Rashpal, this is a secret. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Yeah. So I told you what were the parameters: fluency and coherence, lexical, grammar, and punctuation. There is no something like task response or task achievement. But that, yeah. So you can't, it is not that you cannot go off the topic, but slight, no change. I'll give you an example. So there's a recent cue card. Describe a time when you witnessed a live sports event.
Correct.
Okay. Now, I've never gone to a sports event. See,
yes,
I cannot, to be very frank, I can't afford that IPL's ticket.
Yes.
So I have never gone. So what to do? Now I am, I am in hot waters. No problem. You can say, to be honest, I have never been to a live sports event, but today I'll like to describe a live concert of a famous Punjabi singer, whichever you want to say, that I had the opportunity to go to 2 years back, whatever you can tell the examiner that I have not gone to the sports and I'm doing the music. So both are live. This is not out of the topic. Unless and until you go just overboard and say something else, you start saying about a TV serial. Something very different. But there is nothing like that. This depends how tangent you grow, So if you're going tangent at 90 degree, then it is off the topic. But then there is nothing like that, task achievement or task response. That is why had there been task response, this would have been off topic.
Correct.
But there is nothing like that. So it is not being off topic.
Ma'am, in which IELTS module do students generally score the lowest marks?
See, I will identify 2. To be brutally honest, that is writing and speaking, because you have to reproduce the language. So these are the ones.
And in which module do students usually score the highest?
It is listening. That is because it's easiest. Yeah.
As compared to 3 modules.
Yeah. Listening. It can really boost your score.
And how many hours did average student, want to get this 7th band
See, you have to give at least 4 hours.
a day?
Yeah, if you want to achieve your band within 1 month. So, yeah.
And when should student begin practicing IELTS on computer?
See, when you are clear with the format, when you know what questions, how you have to do, because computer is not going to teach you how to do the questions. You just have to give the test. So first be familiar with all the aspects of the test, all the questions, and then you can start practicing on the computer.
Got it. And in which module is time management is most important?
See, first is the reading. That is very important. And then is the writing. So both time management is vital.
And last one, when should a student seriously consider going for a retake?
So for a retake, there are various factors. First is please consult your university whether they are recognizing the retake. Secondly, I think in some countries, the retake is not recognized for the PR. And then it is within the 60 days you have to give. So if there is a lot of band difference, like you getting 4 and you want a 7, it is difficult, a bit difficult to get a band 7 to jump in such a short period. And of course, I would recommend that please don't give your retake without preparation. So that is very important, because another 12,000 or whatever will go down the drain. So that is no use.
Okay, got it. Ma'am, if anyone student have a coming exam, so what suggestion you have to give them?
There is no special things, but the cue cards change, There are new cue cards. I also upload them in my channel. Those cue cards you must do. The topics are new of the speaking. You must do that. And of course, you should practice real exam questions, whether it is reading or whether it is task 2 or task 1. Do the real exam questions also, because you get that same level and the ideas are repeated. It is repeated. You can use those ideas. But for the speaking, new cue cards, new topics, you can go to my channel, English with Anita Kundra, and you can have those cards and please prepare them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your valuable insight from examiner perspective with us today and everyone watching this. If you find this podcast informative, make sure follow Alpha Education for more expert guidance, perspective, strategies, and exclusive education discussion. Thank you for watching this. We will see you in the next podcast. Thank you. Bye-bye.